Most roads are unknown. These are the paranormal roads.
Hello everybody, this is Jack.
Yep, this is Mike.
You're listening to Paranormal Roads podcast on paranormalroads.com.
Alien invasion. I'm excited to do this show, Jack. I really am. You know I'm all about the aliens.
Oh, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Oh, sure. Well, most aliens visiting Earth are actually, they're peaceful.
Yeah.
You know, they're here for just to see how we're doing.
Them.
Yeah, we don't even
They're
notice
just
them.
watchers.
Yeah, they just watch. They're scientists, even. You know, they're just here to observe, see how humanity's going. But there are a few aliens that have an agenda that does not is not in our best favor.
Not our interest.
Right, they are not our interest. And they are waiting for an opportunity to attack humanity. Yes, there are evil aliens out there.
Yep.
Right.
You need to know about this.
Yeah. Why would they? Why would aliens want to... Why would a civilization more technologically advanced than us want to attack Earth? What would possibly be their reasoning? Well, resources, of course, is one of the most obvious.
Yep.
Right? Gold.
Coal, gold.
Silver.
Maybe humans.
Oh, well, we'll get to that. But just the resources, the mineral resources.
Yeah.
Right. There's one that I recently found out. It's called scandium. And it is extremely rare in the universe. Like, we only have small little tiny bits of it.
I've heard of that, but...
Right. And we use it for space exploration.
Yeah.
Where are aliens at? They're
space.
They're in space. So maybe that's one of the reasons. You know what I mean? And human beings. We've attacked each other throughout history for what? Gold,
Just being
silver. Right. Yeah, I mean, so if we're going to do it, and aliens are humanoid, they probably have some of our same traits.
Yeah.
So, you know, they would, you know, want our resources. They, like, another reason might be global warming. People are like, oh, the aliens will come down and they'll stop us global warming.
I'm destroying the planet.
Right. Not only just the plants, but animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, like, hey, the whales or the polar bears are going extinct because the humans are down there screwing around. We need to go save the polar bears.
Yeah.
The polar bears are more important than humans.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that could be a reason. You know, we're killing off species of animals at an alarming rate.
Yeah, we actually have a video about the birds on the site.
Right, yeah. Go on paranormalroads.com, and there's a great video about that, the vanishing birds. Another reason, which is probably one of the most scary, is that they want to make us slaves.
Oh, yeah.
Or pets.
Or eat us.
Or eat us, right, for food. Yeah, they want us for food. That's another reason. So they can come down. You know, our technology is so weak, they could easily outpower us. Harvest us up.
And maybe that's why a lot of aliens don't even attack us, because they see us as inferior.
Right. They're like, well, we're just going to wait till they get...
bypass us.
Right, like we wait for a pig to get nice and plump before we eat it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're waiting for humanity. You know, well, we are. We're all getting larger. We're all becoming obese.
Well, they're just waiting for a large amount. The population gets a certain amount, then
we get fatter.
They reap and they sow the land.
Right.
So
and then they leave a small population. Right, exactly what we do. Yeah, so literally they would treat us like we treat farm animals. That's kind of creepy. That's one of my scariest ones, because they suck you up. They suck you up in the UFO and they, you know, slowly drain your body fluids. That's pretty creepy.
I have feelings that that's not all aliens, but I think some aliens do. They, like they eat our hormones.
Sure.
Our hormones are, I think, what they want.
Yeah, you told me that before, that you had a picture of that.
Yeah.
And I also love your theory of, which I'm starting to warm up to. At first I didn't agree with you, but I'm starting to warm up to the fact of the good aliens are keeping
the bad ones in check.
Right. So the only thing saving us might be those other aliens out here. So be nice if you run into any aliens, because they might be the ones protecting you.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's what is going on.
Right.
But
Right, they could want our DNA.
Yeah.
Right?
Or maybe we're experiments.
We could be
experiments. And they want to upgrade. Maybe they're going to upgrade us one day and replace us with a new type of human.
Well, there's parts of the human genome that whose functions are unclear. Yeah. So they could have been put in there by aliens.
Like the appendix.
Right. Maybe the aliens want to use that. Like, hey, humans aren't using this DNA. This is DNA they don't use. This little piece of DNA they don't need. So we're just going to go take it out of them, and they won't even notice. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or they could be making hybrids.
Or, yeah, maybe they want the resources here, but they can't survive on our planet because maybe they can't breathe here. The germs kill them. So maybe they've been just hybridizing us with themselves for thousands of years until they can replace us with hybrids.
Right, just like in the War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Great movie. What eventually ended up stopping them is, our viruses, our germs, the atmosphere.
Yep.
These are and what did they do? They came down and they took over Earth and they assimilated Earth to be like their home planet.
Yep.
They grew all those, the Steven Spielberg version, remember? They could be. They would probably have biological technology that probably could do that. Absolutely.
Even in the new Superman movie, they do that.
Right.
The new one, they tried to turn Earth into Krypton.
Well, here's a kind of a far-fetched one. To use Earth as a target range to test their weapons. Nah, I don't know about this one. This one's kind of seems far-fetched, but I was once talking to somebody.
I don't see that.
Yeah, but it is a theory. It's a wild theory. Maybe they want to test how their weapons can fire through water or in certain atmospheres, but
I don't. If that was the case, Earth would have been destroyed already.
Yeah, well,
the animals would be dead.
Yeah, it's a far-fetched one.
It would look like Mars, but you never know because they say Mars was once a habitable planet.
Right.
So,
and here's the thing of we were just talking about the aliens, the good aliens keeping the bad aliens at bay. So another reason might be they attack Earth. Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'll show them good aliens. The bad aliens might be, I'll show them good aliens. I'm going to go and I'm going to just kill all the humans because they're trying to protect. Maybe they're vengeful. Maybe the evil, vengeful, makes sense to me. Maybe the good aliens came down and made hybrid humans, and the bad aliens are ticked off that they came down and trying to assimilate.
See, I've heard theories that the Greys, there's different types of Greys, different types. And you have your good Greys, and then you have your bad Greys. I've heard that the Greys, if anybody doesn't know what the Greys are, those are the aliens with the oval, like the pear-shaped heads, big eyes. Those are the aliens that a lot of experts say are actually the hybrids.
Wow.
That's the theory I hear. And that they are like the drones. They come to Earth and stuff.
Right.
Or other aliens that we don't even know look like.
Wow.
And that they have human characteristics, and that's why you have some evil ones.
Right.
So that's the theory I've heard.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
So you have, and these gray aliens are actually known as what we call demons.
Right.
So.
Could be.
So there's
a definite connection. Well, I know everybody out there that's listening to Paranormal Roads podcast show, I know you think we're probably nuts, but me and Jack, we have been around the spiritual block, if you will.
Yeah.
We don't talk about aliens just as because we saw it on the show. We have actually been in contact with. I ran into my first alien in New Orleans.
Yeah.
She was. It was
she was a watcher.
Right, a watcher as a woman, and she was walking around New Orleans because they were recovering from Hurricane Katrina, and she was taking surveys. She was actually working for a survey company. And I was with Shelly, which I don't know if anybody knows. Shelly's our resident alternate reality expert. She can feel energy.
Yeah.
And the lady came up to us because we were working in a booth, like handing out.
Yeah.
We were putting, having kids plant like trees, but like mini trees that they could take home, like as a little Earth experiment, just for them to give them something to do, the kids. So this alien woman comes up to the booth that we're at. And I look over to Shelly, and Shelly's eyes get real big. And I'm like, what the heck? And she looks up at the lady, and then she looks at me, and she goes, she's not from here. And I'm like, oh, this lady's, you mean she's not from New Orleans? Like, Shelly goes, no, she's not from Earth. And then she looks up. And I'm like, holy crap.
And she didn't want to let the lady know she knew, right?
Well, I'm sure the lady heard her, but I mean, we were both so shocked, like we were just talking.
So Shelly said that, and the woman didn't react.
Well, she didn't say anything.
So.
She kind of like gave a knowing, like little, like she like smirked her lips a little bit, like a little knowing glance, and then she walked off. And then we were kind of in shock, because I would have followed her, but I was kind of in shock. And like 5 minutes later, I gained my bearings back, because it was really, when you run into something paranormal, it kind of knocks you back for a minute. Sometimes you don't think, okay, we'll go follow. So I didn't go follow. So we went to go follow the woman, and she was gone. So
maybe she was already up in the spaceship.
That's what I'm saying. We could probably watch. She probably would have like vanished right in front of us. But so me and Jack, when we tell these story of aliens, we are connected with this stuff. We are connected with the paranormal. We deal with ghosts all the time. We see them all the time. They speak to us through our recordings all the time. Jack can feel them, which is what I wanted to talk about next.
Yeah, I have like a little sixth sense, but
right. Well, I'd say I have a little more than sixth sense, but that we don't. It's good for the show. So shadow aliens. There's these things. They're called shadow aliens. That's what I call them.
Yeah,
and that's what Shelly calls them. We've run into them before. Shelly's felt them before, and you felt them too, which we're going to get to. We were at somebody's house one day, and we were there at night, and we were partying a little bit, and the next day Shelly was telling me this story. There are these shadow beings that were up in the trees behind the house, and she could feel them swooping in. When we were at the party, she was freaked out at the party. They would swoop in onto the back porch and like look into the windows.
Oh, wow.
Right. And I asked her, well, do you think they'll hurt us? And she goes, she felt that they're not here to hurt us yet. But if we would happen to have gone outside in the back deck and surprised one of them, that they would probably kill us. Like they would have no problem.
They do what they have to do.
They would do what they would have to do to be noticed, right? So luckily nobody went out on the back porch. It was colder, so.
Now, you want to go into what I felt? Though?
Right. And then
I'll just give you some heads up. Mike, I met Mike, and he came over to my house, and I had no idea. Like, I'm really into ghosts. I'm not an alien expert, and he didn't tell me any of this stuff that we've been discussing.
That's true.
He wanted to discuss about his new book, but he just came over to hang out, and we're sitting there, and I said, I feel a strange energy. And if you want to get into it a little bit, and then I'll just respond.
Yeah, we were just sitting by the back door of your house. The big kind of like a picture window, a half sliding door, French door.
And I live near the woods. There's woods near my house.
Right. There's woods, 50, 60 feet back. And you just came out of the blue, and you're like, you felt that there was shadow aliens in the tree. And I had never told you. I had never, ever told you about shadow aliens.
No,
like what I just told the viewers
I never even heard of them. It was just what I picked up.
Right. And you were saying there's these shadow figures in the tree, and they're here to...
I felt like there were two of them.
And they're here to watch me.
Yeah, I said there's something following you.
Right.
And I could actually telepathically hear them talking to each other.
Right.
And then they were communicating with me.
Yeah, and what did they communicate with you?
So I was sitting there, Mike comes over my house, and he's only there for like 10 minutes. So we're just saying hello and stuff. And I picked up this energy, and it was like I couldn't turn it off. I was like, I never felt this before in my entire life.
And that's what you told me. You're like, this is really weird.
Yeah, and I said, it's not a ghost. I feel like there's like something in the tree, but you can't see. It's like an alien, but they're like they're in like shadow form, and every once in a while they go into like their alien form, but they spend a lot of time in shadow form. It's like they're cloaked.
Right.
So,
and you got a picture of one of them, what they would look like, right?
yeah.
And what did they look like?
They were kind of like dark, like darker skinned.
Like Aztec.
Yeah,
I think
like
you told
that.
me,
Yeah.
because this was a few years ago.
Yeah.
That,
Like a hybrid, but like Indian, like
right, Indian, Aztec.
Aztec. Yeah. So
That's
like,
interesting.
so, but like a lot of human, but like their heads are a little shaped a little different.
Right.
Like the browner skin.
So here it is. I'm going to Jack, and we just recently started talking about paranormal things because we shared the interest. It was long before we decided to do this podcast show. And he's telling me the exact same thing that Shelley's telling me
Yeah.
about these shadow aliens. And I never heard about them before.
And I never heard about them. And I don't really. My life, the older I've been getting like the sense has been getting stronger.
Because you always had, when you went ghost hunting, everybody always marveled how well you always got EVPs,
Yeah.
pictures of orbs.
Yeah, like things are just attracted to me. I don't know why, like another realm. I don't know why, but
So ghosts are attracted to you, and apparently these shadow aliens are following me.
yeah. So Mike comes over to my house, and I pick up on this energy, and they were very angry that I picked up on them. They were not there to follow me. I said, "There's things following you," and they are very upset that I picked up on their energy.
Right.
So,
They don't like to be, that would go
Noticed.
along with,
like, I'm surprised they didn't kill me.
they don't want to be noticed. They don't want you going around them. It probably ticks them off.
But
For whatever reason, they're watching Shelley and me.
I
I
feel
don't know
there's
why.
things protected. I have like I must have really good guardian angels.
Right.
So,
So how many, throughout history, people are seeing aliens and ghosts and angels?
oh yeah,
There's a fine line. You know, if you say you picture them as Aztec,
yeah.
people have said, "Oh, there's Aztec and Indian people I see in the woods." Are they seeing ghosts of Indians in the woods? Or are they seeing aliens?
Are they aliens?
Are they shadow
And
aliens?
you know those Mayans disappeared.
Yeah,
The whole civilization disappeared.
right.
And it's after doing research, they were actually it's been hybridization with aliens is actually documented in the Aztec and Mayan culture.
Oh, yeah.
As the star children.
Yes.
So I did not research this until like recently. So now I'm like, well, there's something to this. So
Well, I mean, anything could happen. We're talking, this is the show, it's about alien invasion. Maybe the aliens went to the Aztecs, took them up, did some sort of hybrid with them, so they could be on Earth a little more easier.
recon, maybe they work for the aliens.
Maybe they couldn't be in shadow form unless they were mixed with a little human DNA.
Yeah.
See, you'll watch these shows on TV, and they will say alien hybrid, but it's a little more than just DNA. You're talking about things that we think that are ethereal might be extraterrestrial technology.
See, the day that you came over and that happened, I've never sensed them again.
Right.
So I remember I sensed two figures, and then they walked away, and they can move really fast. But I do see. I don't remember everything. It was like kind of like
You forget.
Like psychics say. Like I forget stuff that I said. Like
Right.
it wasn't me.
That's the same thing with Shelley. She forgets things. Like she doesn't remember.
I had Mike write down notes, but I do remember like their bodies weren't full. They were like more light particles, and they only have so much matter of their body. So their body is only in, you know what I mean? It's like they're more of a light,
Right.
like
Yeah,
figure.
That goes to my point. What is really
Like,
what's
and-
ethereal and what
they
is
don't
alien?
really like. They don't need to eat really. They
Right.
like absorb energy more.
Right. Well, they
more
wouldn't need
energy-based.
if they don't have a body, then they wouldn't need to eat. Really.
Yeah, they have like
They're not biological.
they could shapeshift pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
I felt that too. Like they had small amount of matter left. Like they were hardly human at all. They were more of an energy based figure that could shapeshift. Kind of like what we've created with computers.
Right.
Like, what you see in a computer, it's not real, but it is real. But there's no life energy behind it. Can you imagine something in the real world based off of energy patterns that could, like, manipulate energy patterns? That's kind of like that's kind of like what I sensed.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well,
But-
it all kind of combines. So if you're out there and you think you see a shadow going through your house, you might think that it's a ghost. It might not be a ghost.
It might be
It could be a shadow
watcher.
alien. It could be a watcher.
But-
right. So you got to be careful and really take time to think about the experience. If you have a paranormal experience, take every consideration into count.
Yeah.
Because if the aliens come, they're going to try tricks. If they're going to invade, they're going to do tricks. They might disguise themselves. Oh, yeah, here's a friendly Casper the Friendly Ghost, and then bam, they get you. So who knows what tricks they'll try. So just be aware. When we talk about alien invasion, it might not be completely physical. It might be things that seem paranormal.
Might be rapture-like.
Right, exactly.
People might just be missing one day.
And
then, who knows, maybe they interpreted the Bible to say there's a rapture.
True.
Because there's nothing in the Bible that says clearly rapture, this is people disappear. This is something that's been interpreted in like the 1800s.
Sure.
I forget which year, but it was like the mid 1800s.
Yeah, like the Council of Nicaea, they took all the parts they wanted to and they put it into the Bible.
So maybe the aliens are just like getting all these people thinking, oh, one day people are just going to disappear. And we'll be okay with that.
Well, exactly. Human nature is what I wanted to talk about next. I mean, we're the only species on Earth that denies our real nature. We're hunters. We're gatherers.
Hunters-gatherers.
We're murderers. We are to survive. You know, we are, if our neighbor has more food than us and we don't have any food, it is in our physical, I'm not saying spiritual, in our physical DNA, we are to murder and kill and eat and survive.
Yeah, we're not saying murder other humans.
Right, not murder other humans like just normally.
We like kill animals.
Right.
Like we're meat
Animals.
eaters.
Right.
We're
Like if you're...
We're
But
carnivores and...
we will do what we need to
Yeah.
survive, and if that means harming other people,
It's known. People
we've
will
done
do
it.
that.
It's
Yeah.
not like something I'm making up. It's we've done this. Humans have...
Look, ask the King of France back in...
Right. Right.
Those people
Absolutely.
refused to eat potatoes and they starved, so they beheaded the king and queen.
So I mean, so the moment when the aliens do arrive to attack, forget it, man. Humanity is will just be a mess. We'll just be an emotional wreck.
You know what's going to happen? What's their plans? Before you get into anything, I used to have recurring dreams when I was a kid,
Right.
which dealt with alien invasion.
I remember you telling me.
I had this dream probably about 20 times, and I dreamt I was older. I was like in my 30s during an alien invasion. I am now in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a small child in my dream. I now have a small child.
Right.
I remember this dream where I seen something in the sky. I'm not going to say the whole dream but I'll say there were things in the sky. I'll say there were millions of ships.
Objects, ships.
It's like they were cloaked and then they just instantly appeared.
Right. And it was
then-
summertime.
It was summertime.
You were at a barbecue
I was at a barbecue.
with your family.
Yes. And I remember I warned everyone. No one else could see it but me. And then, so I hid. I took this kid. I don't know. I was older in my dream. I was only like 6 when I had this dream.
Right,
All the
so
way up
you
till,
didn't-
like 9.
you didn't
From
know
From
you
the
would
age
have-
of
yeah.
6 to 9, I was having this dream like every night.
Yeah. Recurring dream.
And like I've had a few recurring dreams, but this is one that stuck with me. So I knew ahead of time that there was going to be an invasion. I warned everybody. So I took this kid and me and him hid under some steps.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a feeling there was something good in the sky too.
Right. So it was a little bit of both.
Yes, but it was like the one good thing was outnumbered now by the bad.
Right. So the bad were attacking, basically.
So the bad invaded Earth.
And some not young, some good were coming to
Yes.
help.
And in my dream, I was found by someone, and I was grabbed. By good, by bad, I don't know.
Right.
But
And
that's
they
when I
were
woke up.
wearing a suit.
They were wearing suits.
Right. And they grabbed you to save you from the bad ones that were coming.
I believe it was it was a human shape. So I believe I was saved by,
Yeah, it could have been a human in a few years from now, maybe some sort of military suit that we're not aware of.
no,
now.
I mean, I think the good aliens are more like human shaped, like hybrids.
Oh.
See,
Okay,
the
yeah,
hybrids have to come on Earth.
That's a good theory.
They've been making hybrids for years,
right.
the aliens. So they send the hybrids here.
Maybe that's another reason why they're making the hybrids.
Yeah.
To come and help protect us when the evil come.
Because there's more of this dream, but I don't want to say it all because it's a very wild dream.
We're going to go into more. I know.
But
I personally know where you want to go with this, but we'll leave that for another show.
But I had a recurring dream, alien invasion.
Right. And here on Paranormal Roads, we're going to cover all that. Trust me, we have a million ideas in our head, and we're going to get to every single one of them. But to me, for this alien invasion show, like I said before, I think humanity is going to go nuts. Half of humanity is going to attack each other and riot and loot. The other half of humanity is going to run over the aliens and go, "Oh no, save me!" So basically, what I think is you're kind of on your own as a family unit because the attack's going to come so fast and so quick. You better pray that you're at home or somewhere that you can hide.
And it depends what the aliens want from us.
Right.
So
if they're coming quick strike just to grab a whole bunch of people, you wouldn't.
So I think the bad aliens like to eat our hormones.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that.
So
yeah, I do believe that one movie. It was a movie. It was made in a movie, but a group of guys got captured.
Oh, Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky. And one guy, they had him hooked up to tubes, and they were like draining his fluids. So, there's a little, if you want to call it proof, but a little validation of that theory. So I think you'd have to survive on an individual basis. Like, hopefully you'll be home somewhere you're familiar with. You'll have to rely on yourself or your little family unit.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to want to go outside and drive 20 miles during an alien invasion because they're going to get you. So hopefully you're at home or somewhere safe where you can hide. You got to take responsibility for your. So tomorrow, if the aliens attack, you might want to run. You might want to drive 100 miles to save Grandma. Don't do it. When the aliens attack, stay where you are, or try to get to your home as quickly as possible. Luck will have a lot to play with it. And then later on, you can join them. Like when the initial attack is over, you can band together, any movie you would see.
And then whoever lucky is left you might not be lucky, you might just be screwed.
That's true.
So there might be nothing you can do. The aliens might just overpower us. And
so you're right. That's what I'm saying. So you got to survive. You try to keep your family alive. That's the first initial
and which
response.
will go back to the instincts. You were talking about human instincts. You could bring back to a murderer, killer, or survivalist.
Well, you very well might have to...
Eating bark off trees.
You might have to be hiding in your house and confront an alien being. And, you got to keep your eyes out because you don't know what they're going to look like.
Yeah, we don't know what weapons will hurt them.
Right.
We don't know anything. That's the scary thing. If they've been watching us, they know everything about us.
Sure, we know nothing about them.
Yeah.
So, what do you do when aliens attack? How are you prepared? How would you be prepared? Well, like I just said, you're going to want to stay in your home. You're going to want to stay away from the windows. Don't go in the woods.
Stay out of the forest.
We'll stay at home during the invasion. Absolutely. Don't go outside for any reason whatsoever because they can pick you off.
It seems like they need to enter a door. So
right. So kind of like in a tornado, where do you go? What's the safest place in your house Ask yourself that. What's the safest place in your house if a tornado comes?
Yeah, and
there's
go there.
there's no windows. It's structurally sound. You can barricade yourself. Do that. You can even add it in your tornado plan of your safety for your house.
On your tornado plan, just put alien invasion.
Right.
-alien invasion.
Like I have for tornadoes and for aliens, because I thought about this before. We have a pantry that's underneath our steps. And it has a door. I can put something in front of that, and there will be there'll be no way they can, get in, and I can stay there until it's going. Or, also, what you want to do is be a survivor. There's a lot of survivalists out there, and they already have food and water stored up for 3 months in advance, which is always a good idea to have, a supply of food. So you want to stay in your home. You want to make sure that you have 3 months worth of food and water. And another thing you want to prepare for is, and nobody wants to think of this, if the invasion lasts for a long time, you're going to want a place for your waste disposal.
Oh yeah, that's a big problem. Like I read survivalists, a lot of people die from infection.
Right, exactly.
So.
Now, an alien attack probably won't last very long. So that's part of having food, water. You want to have human waste disposal. And don't go outside. Do not take your human, like if you have a bucket or something, or a lot of people do the what are the toilets where you put ash in it?
Oh, I'm not.
Composting.
Compost.
Composting toilet. If you have one of those, don't go outside.
Yeah.
Do not leave your house.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Just try to stay in your little secure
now,
little
when we
area.
do eventually go out, is it better to go out at night or during the day?
When you eventually go out, I would say probably during the day so you can see.
Yeah, alien invasion. It's going to be scary. It will happen someday. In our lifetime, I don't know.
So you're in your house, you're staying in your house, you got your food and your water, so you're cool there. Your waste disposal, you're not going to make yourself sick if it lasts for more than a couple days or a week or two. I wouldn't come out of your house until, like, you're really, really, really sure. Like, you see other people walking around and they've been walking around for a couple days. I know I wouldn't.
So we should have, like, binoculars and stuff.
Right. Keep an eye, look out.
Get some, maybe you can
if you have
a plan with neighbors.
Right. Emergency radio.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the time you see people walking around. Turn on your radio. If you have a CB radio, a lot of people do short band radios. That's the time. You don't want to be in your house during an alien invasion on your shortwave radio because they can track you. Wait until you think the invasion's over, and then wait a couple days beyond that.
Yep.
And then try to communicate with the outside world. And then everybody can band together and pick up the pieces and fight the aliens if they're still there, or rebuild the Earth, whatever.
Or wait for the good aliens to come.
Right. So the only thing I could think of, and what you touched on, what's their technology? Like, what are you coming up against? What weapons are you going to have to? What weapons what are you going to need? Probably guns, right?
Well, from the history of witnesses of alien abductees,
right?
Aliens are smaller and weaker than us, so
it'd be kind of easy to.
So they must have some high tech weapons,
right? To make up the difference.
Yeah. So physical strength, like close combat, is probably what we need to do with them.
So like knives,
swords.
Maybe you could
train yourself in martial combat.
Right.
So a lot of people don't do that.
Right.
So,
even the high
join a dojo. Get yourself able to hand combat.
That'd be a great idea.
Hand combat with aliens, that's probably the best
way. Especially with weaponry.
You can easily overpower them.
Right. And they might have spacesuits that bullets can't go through.
Yeah.
But maybe knives can. Maybe, a pinpointed knife. Because they have, soldiers and policemen have bulletproof vests that stop bullets, but a knife will go right through them.
Yeah.
So maybe, if you have a gun, make sure you got some knives. Make yourself a spear. Get a broom handle or some strong piece of metal pipe. Get some duct tape. Make a spear. You're in your little safety zone, and like an alien pops his head out. Boom! Don't even hesitate. Just pop him with a spear right in the head.
Maybe
don't take any chances.
Yeah.
Just, if you see an alien, just get him. If you can get him, get him.
Yeah.
Don't wait. To make first contact. Like with Close Encounters of the First Kind, and play him a little song on your piano. Do 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 do. No, just boom, take him out.
And maybe aliens are going to attack us because we're weaker.
Possibly.
Think about it. Why would they attack us now? Back in, say, 1,000 years ago, what did people do? What was something people were good at? Fighting.
Right.
People, like you said, were killers. People fought all the time. People were good at hand combat. Like, if you say, 300 years ago, over in
the Knights
Europe,
of Columbus, or the Knights of Columbus, but the Knights Round Table.
Every adult male, even a teenager, they were good with a sword.
Right.
You ask how many. You go up to any guy now, where they know how to use a sword.
We're overweight. We don't know how to defend ourselves. There's a lot of us, easy pickings. I mean, this would be a great time. This very day that you're listening to this show would be a perfect day for the aliens to attack.
Oh yeah, and the ones that say they are good at defending, that's because they own a gun. You take the gun out of the hand, they're useless.
Right.
They don't know how to fight.
Nope.
Even people that work out and are strong, they still don't know how to fight.
Yeah.
Being strong doesn't make you a good warrior.
Right. And they know if aliens have been watching us, probably the number one defense precaution that they take is for guns.
Yeah.
So guns might even possibly at that time be useless.
Yeah.
It might have to be hand-to-hand combat.
Maybe aliens are within the government trying to ban all guns.
Well, Shelley, who can feel these energies, she says she can feel alien energy in every town. Everywhere she's went, she knows she can feel.
They're making laws.
They're everywhere.
That will make the alien invasion more successful.
Right.
So maybe all the anti-gun laws are started from aliens.
Well, I don't want anybody to be too fearful, because there are good aliens at work too. There's probably good aliens and there's probably bad aliens out there trying to.
Yeah, I've read from people. There's probably up to 60 different aliens.
Right.
And out of 60 different races of aliens that are known, there's probably two of them are evil.
Right. So the odds are in our favor, especially if what we think is true, that the good aliens protect us from the bad. So the odds are in our favor. So luckily, we're in a good place in the galaxy, apparently, where there's more good aliens than bad.
Yeah.
So
and
we're lucky.
Maybe there's a treaty or something.
Could be.
Maybe the Earth was destroyed by aliens in the past. And maybe they had to let so many years go by before there was a treaty. Maybe there was some alien war. If you look back and even on cave drawings and over in Europe, they have pictures and paintings, and they said people even witnessed a war in the sky.
Oh, sure.
Over in Germany or something.
Oh, yeah.
And
India, their history goes back a lot there was alien battles in the sky. Now, they didn't know what they were. They thought they were flying carpets.
Yeah.
Because they related it to...
Yeah, that's where the flying carpet comes from.
Right.
So
the battles in the sky. Oh, there's flying carpets and people shooting each other.
So maybe the aliens that had the best interest for us actually fought, they've been fighting for us for centuries.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a treaty. Maybe there was a big war that's over within aliens, and there's some treaty that maybe it's going to run out.
It's very possible.
And these other aliens are just waiting for this treaty to run out to attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, I mean, history is a funny thing. A lot of history is peppered with truth and not truth.
Yeah.
So, just like when it comes to history, truth and non-truth, when you run into the paranormal, one thing might be something else. Yeah, you might be seeing a ghost, but it could be an alien. You might be seeing a shadow. it might be an alien.
Or it might be a shadow.
You know what? I got to tell you this, and I think I did tell you this story one time, and it has something to do with the shadow aliens. We were visiting, oddly, the same house that Shelley felt the shadow aliens coming down. We were there again at night, but we were just visiting.
Yeah.
Because it was an older gentleman, and we were visiting him. We were sitting there talking in the kitchen, and there was a window to my left. And I felt, in my eyes, do you ever go to the store or have a laser pointer pointing it in your eye, or one of them, you know, the red little lasers? You have them point them in your eye. Do you know how it like makes your eye dry? Dry and like, ooh, you close your eye and you gotta like
it affects
wet your
vision. Yeah.
Right. Well, I felt that in my left eye coming from the window.
Oh wow.
And I looked over real quick, and there was a laser. Now this window's up high, so it would have had to have been something that was up 20 feet high. So you know what I mean?
There wasn't no kid out there.
No, it was no kid, and there's woods, you know, and the nearest house is probably almost a mile away. There was no kids.
Oh wow. There
was no kids up in the trees pointing laser at me. But I looked real fast, and there was a laser, and it shut off. As soon as I looked, I saw for a second, then it shut off, and I saw a shadow like move off. Right. And so I'm being followed by aliens, apparently.
I told you were.
Yeah.
And that's right when I met you.
Right.
And I've never felt their energy again since that day. So
yeah. Well, real quick before we go, because I know we got to wrap this up. What was interesting when you were telling me about those shadow aliens, how you felt how they traveled. You said they moved really fast in like a 20-mile radius.
Yeah.
That was really neat. I've been thinking about that for like 2 years now.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you told me like they move real fast. Like to them, taking a few steps is like 10 miles away.
Yeah.
To them, like if we take 2 steps to them is like really far away.
Yeah.
That is really interesting. So you're not dealing with normal parameters. When aliens attack, it's not going to be normal parameters. Look for the things that are out of the norm. If something looks out of the norm, question it. Yes. And you should do that on a daily basis. Anything you run into anything paranormal. But alien invasion. I love talking about the aliens. We talk about them forever.
We can do another show on alien invasion, but I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
But
we definitely want to
put some thoughts in your head.
Yeah, I want to
prepare for an alien invasion.
Yeah, I want to interview Shelley one day about not just evil aliens, but just aliens in general. So we'll just do a general alien show.
Yeah.
But that's all I have for today.
Okay. You've been listening to Paranormal Roads on paranormalroads.com. You can go actually buy
Alien Search Guide.
Yes.
My book is only 99 cents. It's an ebook, and you can get it on Amazon or barnesandnobles.com. Just go there or Google Alien Search Guide. And for 99 cents, I teach you how to, energy-wise, how to connect, make that energy connection with aliens so you can identify them. You know, most people think, you're just going to see an alien and it's going to have a big head. No, sometimes they look like us. The one I ran into in New Orleans looked like us.
Yeah.
The only difference was right below the eyes, the skin didn't seem to fit right.
Oh, okay.
So my book, Alien Search Guide, I try to teach you to feel the alien's energy, and that's what basically the book is about.
Cool.
So pick it up. It's only 99 cents.
It's a good read.
Only 99 cents. Can't go wrong.
Thanks for listening. Send some comments or anything about any other show. You can reach me at paranormalroads@gmail.com. But I'm Jack. I'm saying bye.
All right. I'm Mike. We'll catch you next time. Good luck.